Alrighty, this morning, I want to introduce you to a Hartford native who left her mark on the city's police department. She paved the way for a growing female force, and she set her sights high with aspirations of breaking gender barriers and serving the community she loved. Take a look.
I did 27 years at the Hartford Police Department, some of the best years of my life.
Deborah Callis always knew she wanted to serve her community. She didn't have to look far for inspiration. 70 years ago, 8-year-old Deborah stared in awe as she watched Hartford policewoman Ella Brown speak during a career day assembly at her school.
She had on a navy blue suit. Just like it was yesterday, I can remember.
Brown was the first black woman to be hired at the Hartford Police Department in 1943. Callis describes Brown as a powerhouse and a staple in the community. As much as Callis wanted to follow the path Brown opened for other women, that was a dream that had to be deferred.
In my household, my parents had other thoughts. They wanted me to be a nurse or a teacher, because that was the standard thing in those days.
So instead, Callis continued her schooling. At one point, she got involved in the civil rights movement.
We'd take buses, we'd go to Washington, we'd protest. I enjoyed all of that, but in the back of my head, I wanted to be a police officer.
Callis decided it was time to move full speed ahead on that dream. She did so with support from the same woman who inspired her all those years ago.
She said one thing: I didn't have anybody that had my back. She said I had developed my own backbone. She says, but I've got you, and I will be there for you as long as I can, and you can come to me anytime.
Callis says back then, women had to have either a nursing degree or a few years of college under their belt before becoming officers. Once she knocked out a few college courses, she applied. And in 1973, Callis became the second black policewoman at the Hartford Police Department.
There were experiences that we'd laugh about, and there were experiences that it took us months to get over.
She climbed the ranks and in 1980 became the first black woman detective at HPD.
Missing persons, and I worked juvenile, I worked in crimes against persons, I worked in auto theft, I worked them all.
Being a detective is probably one of the most challenging positions to acquire, especially in this male-dominant environment that we're currently working in.
HPD Deputy Chief Sonia Watson says the department has a history of being progressive.
I know that in January, another PD just actually promoted their first black female, so some 40-plus years later, right, some PDs are still just now coming on board with the idea that females in general and minorities can actually coexist in every division.
When Callis retired in 2000, she made sure to pay it forward to other women in the department, like Ella Brown did for her.
My first contact with them is, hi, let me take you aside, and this is what you need to know. And also, in closing, I'm there for you. And my group of women down there, it was just fantastic. We really ruled the department, though. So you're gonna get married here?
Deputy Chief Sonia Watson tells us Hartford Police currently has 8 female detectives on staff, and she expects that number to grow through the department's 30 by 30 initiative, which aims to have women make up at least 30% of its force by 2030.